Hey y'all. So as you all can see by the title of this video, it is not your traditional vlogmas that we have been doing the entire month of December. You all can still expect a vlogmas tonight at 7 p.m. But I wanted to go ahead and get this out there to you all because the girls have been in my DMs. You all have been commenting on my Instagram, my Facebook, like, okay, are we gonna talk about Married to Medicine? Are we gonna talk about it? Like, are we really gonna talk about it? And yes, we're gonna talk about it. Some of you all have asked on the About Me's when you were trying to get to know me, like, what am I watching on TV? And I told y'all then, my favorite show is Married to Medicine. Hands down, there's no other competition in my opinion. Love Married to Medicine. It is the best show on Bravo. I know people say that a lot about their own shows, but that's just my opinion, right? Like, Married to Medicine has been that girl for the past 10 seasons. I have not missed a beat on Married to Medicine. I love it. I love that they are very authentic and everything. So I'm very excited to give my perspective. So y'all in the comments, don't be eating me up. This is just my perspective as a viewer, looking in as a viewer, the past 10 seasons, the past whatever, how long they've been on TV, and just watching it in live time and just giving what I feel, what my true thoughts are. So it's not going to necessarily be an episode review. It's just going to be an overall review, right? So let's just get right into each and every person. I'm gonna go through these very quickly, starting off with Sweet Tea. I don't care what y'all say, Sweet Tea is great for Married to Medicine. Like, she is funny. She's very funny. She's herself. I love her. You can already see like her glow up and etc. And I honestly think that there was a lot of things that were left off that we did not get to see, but I honestly love that she's just not tolerating any of the bull that they were trying to portray her out to be, or create this narrative with Quad or anything like that. She was just truly being herself. And as much as people were down in her, saying why she get married to Dr. G, same reason why a lot of other people get married when they have issues in their relationships before, whether that's money, whether that's family drama or anything like that. That's her own prerogative, right? And I feel like Sweet Tea is very smart. Like, just hearing her background, where she came from, she's a veteran and etc. I don't think she's one to where she's just gonna roll over and just take things. And she reminds me a lot like Dr. Contessa. She reminds me a lot of Dr. Contessa. Come from that background. She's very, you know, in her feminism type role, and she's just learning, right? Like, they were trying to put that whole, she's a young girl, things like that. And I'm like, I'm 31 too. But that don't mean nothing. Age does not mean anything, right? So I love Sweet Tea. I think she's really great for Married to Medicine because she's very relatable. In my opinion, she's very relatable. I honestly do think she was a fan of the show. Of course, the show has been on for 10 seasons. Everyone is going to be a fan of the show or know something about the show. So I really think that, yes, she was a fan of the show, still is probably. And that's okay, right? Like, that's honestly okay. But I still feel like her story is honestly my favorite this season. So I'm just going to keep it a buck. That's honestly my favorite this season. Then going right on down to Dr. Alicia. We have not seen much of Dr. Alicia, but I think Dr. Alicia is going to come and spice some things up. I don't know exactly what she asked on the live with Phaedra, Dr. Simone, and Dr. Jackie, but they were on live this last Sunday, and Alicia was on there, and she was asking, she was asking us like real questions, like, why didn't y'all, why y'all wait to bring her? Like, don't take me all the way across the country to tell me y'all don't want me in y'all group. Tell me in Atlanta. And I was like, oh, Dr. Alicia asked the questions. And I'm glad she did. Like, that's what we all really want to know, which we'll get to that in a little bit. But honestly think we're going to like Dr. Alicia. I think it's going to be some things, some questionable things they're going to bring about her husband. And y'all know y'all shouldn't be bringing stuff about people's spouses because people react different about their mans and their womans, okay? So I think we're going to like Dr. Alicia. I kind of already do like her just off that live. So I'm very, very excited to see her story play out. Who else? Miss Phaedra. Phaedra is my girl, y'all. Like, I'm talking Real Housewives of Atlanta Phaedra. However, I do believe even just Real Housewives of Atlanta, Real Housewives of Dubai, Ultimate Girls Trip, Phaedra is different than what she was on Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I think everybody is trying to put her in a box that what she used to be on Real Housewives of Atlanta. She's different, right? We got those funny moments from her on Housewives of Atlanta and etc. But Phaedra has never been super confrontational. She's just never been that type thing. Like, she can read you down, but she's never been all I'm in your face like this type that, right? Like, I went back and I literally go back and watch Real Housewives of Atlanta once a year. And I've never gotten that from her, right? Like, I've never gotten that from her outside of when she was about to hit Kenya with that purse at that dinner. Honey, you know. Oh, look, you know, everybody, yeah. But honestly, Phaedra is not, she's just not that type of confrontational girl. I will say I was hoping, and I am hoping, and I'm hopeful that we get to see more into her family life, because honestly, people may want the conversation for her to talk about, you know, Candy and talk about what happened with that whole ordeal. To be honest, I don't want to even hear about it. I don't want to talk about it. I really don't even care that much to talk about her and her ex-husband and his wife. Why would I give them any type of anything? I don't care about that. I really want to see Phaedra dating. I want to see that. I want to see her dating. I would have loved to see this doctor that she was dating, but I want to see that day life, right? I still want to see, you know, Esquire Phaedra, like her as an attorney still. Does she, you know, I know she still practices, but what does that look like? I want to see the boys. To be honest, I loved Phaedra in mom mode, in my opinion. I want to see more of that. Navigating that relationship with two boys living in Atlanta. Two young boys living in this world. I want to know what that is. So I wanted to see more of that. So I'm hoping that we do get to see more into that. I don't want her to just be this drama filled this situation, because that's not what I got from Phaedra back then. I mean, her husband brought drama, but Phaedra never really just had a whole bunch of drama until they were making those crazy accusations towards her in regards to her cheating on her husband and things like that. But that's what I honestly want to see. I might be the odd one out, but I want to see that because I don't care about her ex-husband and his ex-wife or whatever. I honestly just don't. I don't think that there's any bad blood there. Who cares at the end of the day? Like, I really do not. I do not. I don't. I want to see her as a single woman, dating, raising two young, handsome boys, and and just showcasing that, and then her practice and her business and things like that. Phaedra be out here in these streets. I mean, like, good streets. She is normally always out there doing something, giving back for I don't want to say the real word, community service. She's always doing something. Like, I want to see more of that from Phaedra. So I know this was pretty much her redemption and she's just playing it safe. I feel like she's playing it safe to be able to get in Bravo's and the girls' good graces. But there's only so much you're going to play safe, Phaedra. So take it from someone who loves you from day one, who anytime you grace the screen, I record it, I find a way to watch it or anything. My husband knows I love you. My daughter knows I love you. I would say take this. If you ever see this, please, 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 I want to see that. I want to see that. I don't want to see this. And then I'll get to you in Miss Quad's relationship in a few. Dr. Jackie, Dr. Walters, honey, not that she done got our Madam Vice President on this good old Bravo TV. Like, there's nothing else to even talk about the credibility of Married to Medicine, because who else is doing that? Outside of when Cynthia thought that Joe Biden was coming to her engagement party that Kenya put on. Come on, y'all. Like, no. Like, who else is doing what Dr. Jackie is doing? The mortality rate with Black and African American women is insane. It's honestly unspeakable, to be quite honest. And the fact that she's bringing awareness to that, using her platform to be a part of that, I think is extraordinary. There's nothing else that I can possibly say. There's nothing else I can possibly discredit about Dr. Jackie. I love that. I love every bit of it. I love that each season she's in her bag. Each season she is blossoming something else, and it's not something that didn't work. She's blossoming something else. She's moving on to something else, and she's constantly excuse me, y'all, she's constantly feeding us. She's constantly feeding us women. She's constantly feeding some of the men out there, you know, and I love that about Dr. Jackie. I do. I know a lot of the women promote their business and things of that nature, but she does a good job at promoting and it making make sense and making awareness. And I think that is very important for us, thousands of viewers, to sit there and see that. Like, I'm inspired. I love that about her. I just do. I just love that about her. So, Dr. Jackie, hands down. I know it was a lot of, like, at first I will say, I don't like to comment on people's marriages or anything like that, but I sure was like, where is Curtis? But then when she explained that he was in DR, he's a coach and things like that, I was like, yes, because y'all know the people will try to say that he is somewhere he do not supposed to be. And I'm like, Dr. Jackie is not going to tolerate that no more. Because we definitely was like, where he at the first episode? We want to see them because I actually love their story. You know, I don't like the cheating incident that happened, but I love the fact that, you know, Dr. Jackie was probably, you know, the most vulnerable she's ever been when she was in that situation. So yes, I don't have much on Dr. Jackie outside of, I think it was Dr. Heavenly and Carlos when they were on their live. Yes, I watched their lives. Carlos King and Dr. Heavenly on Mondays. Yes, I do. They were talking about the credibility of Married to Medicine. Dr. Jackie does make this show very credible. Nothing else. Nothing else to say. Dr. Simone, I'm gonna be honest. I am not the biggest, I don't have anything against Dr. Simone, but I'm just not the biggest fan of Dr. Simone. And I say that in regards to, I feel the way she treated Toya in the very beginning, by calling her stupid and, you know, calling her dumb and things like that, like very old seasons of Dr. Simone. I'm just not as interested as I am in some of the other ladies on the show. And that's okay. That's nothing. I'm not saying anything is wrong with Dr. Simone. I think she's funny. I think she's very relatable in certain things. Very relatable. It's just, she's not my, oh my gosh, when I think of Married to Medicine, I'm thinking about Dr. Simone. That's just it. Like, that's no shade, no mean. That's just, everybody has their people who they love. And very early on, excuse me, y'all, very early on, she turned me off. And the way that she treated Toya. That's just it. And I'm not even a big Toya girl. I'm a Detroit girl. And I like Toya. But I'm saying in that instance, I was like kind of just turned. I was just rubbed the wrong way when she would call Toya dumb. And she would just call her stupid. And all of this and things like that. And I just didn't think Toya was dumb or think anything like that. I honestly... I just didn't get that early seasons of Toya. I did not get that. I felt like Toya was the most relatable and Quad were the most relatable at that time in the beginning seasons when Married to Medicine was super raw. I just didn't. So, so Dr. Simone's boys are funny. They are very funny to watch on TV. Now that much, yes. But I also love that she is trying to get them to like mature, be grown, things like that. That's what I kind of want to see with Phaedra. Like, I want to see her interact with her children, because I do think that that's good. We need to see that, like, navigating having 2 boys and it growing up, you know, like, I want to see that. Dr. Simone has her husband in the house. Phaedra does not. Like, I really want to see that. So that is what I do. That is what I do like and I love. And then Toya is Toya. Like, I don't even know what to even say. Toya is Toya. Toya is gonna do what Toya want to do. Honestly, she has gotten a lot thicker skin over the seasons, and I'm very proud of her, because before you could just feel that she used to read our comments. She used to take what the doctors used to say about her, and she would take it to the heart. And that's why I feel what I feel about Dr. Simone, calling her stupid and things like that, because I just felt like it was very hurtful, in my opinion. So, but Toya has gotten a lot thicker skin. I will say some of the decisions we be like questionable, like Toya, like, you know, why we doing this? Why we doing that? But rightfully so, they are grown. I don't think they would make decisions that they knew that they could not live with, to be quite honest. I love Toya's style, her dress, the way she dresses, and things like that. It's just, I can't relate to Toya right now. Like, Toya be out here just living her best life, and like, I just can't relate to this newer Toya. Like, before I could relate to her, she was very much down to earth. She didn't really, you know, I felt like she was very softer and things like that. And I loved her and Eugene's relationship, and I still like their relationship. It's just, I can't relate to Toya right now. I can't be like, oh girl, I feel you on that. I can't. I just can't. I can get to that later on too. Dr. Heavenly. Dr. Heavenly is my girl. I love me some Dr. Heavenly when no one else loved Dr. Heavenly, because I feel like Dr. Heavenly is me. Like, I say what everybody else is thinking around me. I say what our friends and stuff like that will not typically say. I'm typically known for that, so I can relate to that. I love that Dr. Heavenly is not afraid to speak up for her friends. I also do not like the fact that sometimes she throws her friends, you know, under the bus. And we seen that on a few episodes ago when she went around on the table and it's like, Dr. Jackie said this, Dr. Simone said this, Phaedra said this, everybody said this. That is one thing I don't like about Dr. Heavenly. But I love the fact that Dr. Heavenly gives us the real off the show, because there's a lot of things that we would not know about this show if it wasn't for Dr. Heavenly and her doing her lives and things like that. So that's one thing I do love about Dr. Heavenly. And then Quad, I hope I haven't skipped anyone. And then Quad, I love Quad. I lived in Tennessee most of my life. Y'all know that. I love Quad. I love the fact that Quad has a story to tell about being the underdog, right? She was very much the underdog in the beginning, similar to Toya. Like, they literally looked at Quad like she was the help. And I've been looked at like that. And I know what it feels like to feel like you gotta be better. You gotta prove a point. And I do think that in the beginning, Quad built herself up. Her and her husband had, you know, all their stuff going on. I'll talk about that in a second. But like, I feel like Quad really took, you know, everything that people were saying about her and she used it to her benefit. And she bossed up. She really did boss up. She glowed up. She did what I feel like Sweet Tea is eventually going to do. She did what most women do when they're on the show. She did what Anini would do. She got on the show. She showed her raw self. She showed her marriage. She showed what it felt like to gloss up on them people that was trying to call her ghetto and all that stuff. She got a good agency behind her. She got deals. She got different type of things going for herself. And I really think that the way Quad evolved, in my opinion, some of the other castmates are not a fan of. That's just my opinion as a viewer. That's just my opinion. That is what it is. Like, that's just my opinion. And I love that she can tell a story. when she get ready to write her a book, or I don't know if she hasn't already, she can write where she started and now where she is. And the fact is that Quad always worked and etc. and had a job similar to my field and things of that nature. She made good money. It's just she wasn't in that elite of a group just yet. And they chose to put her down instead of bringing her in and being kind and being encouraging, because not everyone were doctors, and not everyone is doctors or physicians, dentists, whatever. Some of us have degrees that we work very hard for, went to school for, and careers that we work very hard for, and we're just in a different group. We're just in a different type of, you know, society. And then one thing too, like the Black doctors, what I just didn't get in the very beginning of Married to Medicine, now I do get. They would put down other Black people when it's like, from my understanding, the Black doctors and etc. are completely different than the other doctors. They already separate you. Then you trying to kick somebody out who's married into it. That's a whole nother, that's 10 years ago. But I really think that that's the reason why the other ladies cannot or have not really grasped from that. So I spent 20 minutes going through all these ladies and stuff like that and giving y'all my true background on what I think of them. This season of Married to Medicine has been a little all over the place, in my opinion. This is probably the most controversial season that we've experienced outside of Married to Medicine season 1. To be honest, when Toya and Mariah had that fight and everything, y'all, it was crazy. Or when Cecil and Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone and Curtis were going through their marital issues. That was another controversial, and that was another good season. However, I will say this much. This season definitely looks a little different than those. And I'm going to just come straight on out of it. After watching Sunday's episode, y'all, I felt like that was very mean girlish. It felt very mean girlish, and I'm not used to getting that from Married to Medicine. I tune into Married to Medicine for just the right amount of drama, comedy, love, friendship, sisterhood. That's what I tune into Married to Medicine. And awareness, because every episode we learning something, right? That's what I tune in. That did not feel like that. And I'm reading Twitter, going through Quad's live with CARLOSKING, Dr. Heavenly, live, her tweets, the live on Instagram with Phaedra and Dr. Jackie and Simone and Alicia. It did not feel the same. And I think everybody feels that way. Everybody, not gonna say everybody, half. It's like it's split, and I've never seen a franchise be so split like it is. It is very split. It is very controversial. It's similar to with Monique and Candace on Real Housewives of Potomac. It's very split. And it's split because I feel like what the girls are asking Quad to do is fine. Ask her y'all want her to be accountable for whatever she needs to be accountable for. Asking of that is fine. But kicking somebody and making someone feel so cold, flying them all the way to a whole nother city and state to tell them you do not want them to be in their girl group does not feel, one, realistic, because if you don't want someone to be in your girl group, you're just going to tell them. It didn't feel realistic. It didn't feel relatable. It felt very business tactic. It did not feel like a sisterhood. I don't really care what anyone says about how Quad has something to do with the way Mariah got pushed out. I'm going to be honest. I went back and watched that episode yesterday when they had that conversation with Mariah. Simone was the one who led that charge. It didn't help that Mariah and Quad were not on terms, so Quad cannot advocate for Mariah, and I think that's what people are thinking. They're getting that confused. Mariah and Quad were not cool. So Quad could not advocate for Mariah. And Mariah didn't have no one else to ally for her. So Simone did a lot of that. And honestly, I feel like a lot of the cast members just was not checking for Mariah. That's what I believe as a viewer is what happened. And I feel like with Quad, I think they all kind of got in agreement that this needed to happen, but I don't think everyone had an issue. I don't think Sweet Tea has an issue with Quad. I think she actually likes Quad. I don't think Dr. Alicia had an issue with Quad. I think she likes Quad. I don't think, per se, Dr. Simone has an issue. I think she doesn't like the fact that Quad said some things when she was on her Sister Circle days or whatever about how she needed real sisterhood. And I think she's still hurt by that. I think Dr. Jackie still feels some type of way because Dr. Jackie even said it. I think the only person who honestly just dislikes Quad, in my opinion, is Toya. And rightfully so. Quad said some real nasty things, and no, Quad did not say it. I don't want to put any, allegedly Quad said some real nasty things about Toya, and Toya has not gotten over it. I really don't think she has. However, I don't think anyone just dislikes Quad. I think they may just not be happy the fact that Quad has a whole different set of friends, similar to me. She has a whole different set of friends, and her friends are just a little bit more relatable to her. She's a single woman in Atlanta, and all of y'all are married. One of y'all are married to her now ex-husband. The rest of y'all are friends with her now ex-husband. And y'all constantly, if you go back and watch the seasons, y'all, Simone and Toya would always rub it in Quad's face somehow that Dr. G has a new wife or he has a new girlfriend and she's very beautiful. She's very pretty. She's very nice. Because I remember those episodes and being relatable. That's why I love Married to Medicine. If my friends were out here hanging out with my ex-husband and his new wife, and then they're on the show talking about it, and because they know I'm gonna see it, I'm not gonna want to be in your face either. I'm probably gonna feel like you want me to be a coworker too. That's just my honest opinion. Do y'all agree? Because that's what I feel. Like there's no way Taylor and I are gonna get divorced, and there's no way my husband and I are going to get divorced, and my friends are just going to be out here just throwing that in my face. My so-called friends are going to be out there throwing it in my face. And I really think Quad took it personal, as she should. Even Dr. Jackie was like, y'all can't bring my ex-husband's girl around. Even she said it. And I really think that when they were going through their divorce, Quad felt that Simone and Toya chose Dr. G in the marriage. Because when you get divorced, friends and families, I don't care what y'all say. Yeah, y'all can be cordial and etc. But at some point, sides are going to be chosen. In this instance, it was a nasty divorce. So I feel as if Toya and Simone chose Dr. G. Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Jackie at the time chose Quad. They chose to stay over here, at least be neutral. And I feel like Toya and Simone chose Dr. G because of their dislike for Quad. And now they want her to be their friend, or they wanted her to be their friend. And Quad wasn't going to give that. And honestly, I wouldn't either. I would not give someone that. I wouldn't. That's Toya and Simone. Dr. Heavenly, I think that Dr. Heavenly and Quad love each other. They have a little hate for each other. And I think they understand one another, to be quite honest. I just wish in that moment, watching the episode, I really feel like I wish Dr. Heavenly would have given Quad a heads up. Even if she felt like Quad was phony, fake, using her or whatever, I wish she would have given her a heads up. Like, girl, this is what they are trying to do. This is what conversations are happening. But after watching Dr. Heavenly's live last night, she said she doesn't think Quad would do the same for her. She does not think Quad would have done that for her. And I can't say I disagree or agree because I really don't know, but I do think that Quad was the most. She did not mention anybody else but Dr. Heavenly. She didn't mention Dr. Jackie. She didn't mention Toya. She was like, I expected the more from Heavenly. And I think what she meant by I expected more, she expected Dr. Heavenly to have her back. Like, have her back in private. Or have her back in public and check her in private. You know how they say about your man, like, I'm never gonna, you know, embarrass you or not have your back in public. But in private, I'm gonna check you. And I really feel like Quad was like, okay, it doesn't matter. We have a love-hate relationship or whatever. You're not gonna push me out the group. You're gonna talk to me and let me know, like, hey, these are conversations that's being had. This is what I need from you as your friend. Whatever you consider me, I need for you to do this, X, Y, Z. Similar to what I think Phaedra was trying to do for Quad, but Phaedra was not in a position to do it. I think it should have came from Quad. The resurrection should have came, Dr. Heavenly should have came from Dr. Heavenly. She was her friend on the show. Phaedra was still coming in. So I feel as though, even though Dr. Heavenly was like, I'm tired, I can't do that no more. I tried to pull Quad in. Girl, you could have pulled in some more. Because I would want my longest standing friend on the show outside of Dr. Simone at the time. I would have expected her to have that conversation with Quad. That's just my opinion, y'all. Y'all could say I'm wrong. She don't owe her nothing, and she doesn't. It's just what as a viewer, that's what I feel. So when it felt like, okay, Phaedra didn't want to fly on a flight with me, she turned on me. My friend of years, that 1 minute we good, 1 minute we hot, 1 minute we just laughing and all that, you know, that happens. So I don't know. I just felt like I would have had that conversation with Quad and let her know. And I honestly think whatever they were trying to do in regards to getting Quad out of the group, I really think the way some of them, and I'm not going to say all of them, wanted this to play like this, I don't think it's playing out in the favor that they wanted it to. I think they wanted us to see it as if Quad ain't been accountable, she's a mean girl, or she don't really fool with us, she don't talk to us, so let's kick her out. I don't really think us viewers feel that way. We don't. We feel as though her and Toya issue, we understand their issue. But I still don't understand Dr. Simone issue. I really don't understand Heavenly's. Heavenly saying she uses her or whatever. That's the only one. Them the only two. Toya and Dr. Heavenly issue is what I understand. That's it. Those are the only two, because Dr. Heavenly is friends and Toya and Quad don't like each other. It's not a gray situation. They're friends, they're not friends. So I understand why they feel like I needed more from you, or I don't need anything from you. And I think when Quad showed up, she was trying to be humble. She was trying to express herself and say, like, y'all, I'm really trying to be vulnerable in this moment. Y'all, let's talk this out. Let's be better. You know, like, let me do this. Like, this is something I normally do not do, because I don't normally see Quad do that and show emotion and crying and things like that. And for her to do that, and then they still find whatever reason it was to be like, yeah, you need to go home. It felt cold. It felt mean girlish, and it just didn't feel good. As a viewer watching for those reasons, I just did not feel good. I'm not going to be one of those ones, and I'm not even a huge, like, oh my gosh, diehard Quad fan. I'm just a fan of the show, and I love everybody. But I just didn't feel that. I felt very mean girlish, and I felt like Phaedra is just trying to stay in everyone's good graces because she's trying to, you know, redeem herself. But I don't think they played out her that good either. Whatever production, and that's what a lot of people say, the cast members always say, like, blame it on production, they don't show something. I feel like production plays what they want the viewers to view people as. Production want us to view Quad and you all as mean girls. Whether it's true or not, that's the way that production is portraying it. And if I didn't watch Dr. Heavenly's live, if I didn't watch Carlos King and Quad's interview, I would say that's what they want us to do. They want us to, like, this is the way that they want her to be portrayed as America's, or this girl who really cares and really trying to do better and really trying to be a better woman. This is what they want. That's what they want. So I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I hope that this dynamic changes. Whether Quad stays in the group. Do y'all think that Quad is going to... I know she's going to be coming back in the season finale because I seen the trailer. But do y'all think she should come back next season? Y'all think she should come to the reunion and lay it all out? Because, you know, they say the reunion is where everything, like, gets popping. I don't know. But I just know that I know a lot of people saying, like, the views on Phaedra's live dropped after Quad scene. Twitter is, like, split, y'all. I kid y'all not. If y'all get on Twitter, Married to Medicine, it's like every other. Oh, this should have happened to Quad. Dang, this was wrong to Quad. This shouldn't happen. This should. This shouldn't. This should. I mean, it was going back and forth. So, y'all let me know. I will tell y'all this. Please, please, please share this video. Let me know if y'all want me to talk about any other show. Y'all know I watch Real Housewives of Potomac, Love and Marriage Huntsville, Sisters. I watch them all, y'all, to be quite honest. So let me know if y'all want to get my perspective. Y'all want me to go a little bit more deeper on this. They will be back in 2 weeks. Y'all just let me know y'all thoughts. Let me know y'all thoughts on Married to Medicine. Bye, y'all.